Hello friends, welcome to my channel. In this demonstration, I will show you how I sketched and painted this cute polar bear in watercolors and Inktense pencils. So let's get started. If this is your first visit, my name is Aurora, and on my channel I teach drawing and painting tutorials, so if you want to learn more about making art, please consider subscribing to my channel. To begin the sketch, I am drawing two same-sized circles like a figure 8 on my cold press Arches paper inside of my ugly homemade watercolor journal. I'm drawing a third circle to the right, about the same size as the other two. The bear's face will be angled, so I am drawing a line down the center to guide me as I draw the nose, mouth, and eyes, and it'll help keep me in alignment. I'm using light pressure with my pencil and plan to do lots of erasing as I fine-tune his features and body and proportions. You can always sketch it first and transfer it to watercolor paper if you're more comfortable with doing it that way. I follow around the shape of the circles to fill in the hair, and I draw his little foot and his front feet, and then I just change these up a bit. I erase my mistakes as I go. After I'm happy sketching out the bear, I use a protractor, and I just use this to draw a circle around him. You could also place a round plate or dish and trace around it if that's what you have. By the way, I sped up the process here, but you can change the playback speed in YouTube settings if you need it slowed down or sped up more. Alright, it is time to paint. I started by wetting the sky all around the bear, and I painted it with Winsor blue, cobalt teal, green gold, and some Prussian blue for the darkest areas. I'm using Winsor Newton and Daniel Smith watercolors, and I will have a link to all the supplies I used in the video description. While it's still damp, I sprinkle fine sea salt, which will create a starry texture when it dries. Once it's completely dry, I scrape off the salt and brush it away from the paper. Then I will paint the snow starting the same way, first wetting the entire area, then on the bottom using Winsor Blue, then Cobalt Teal, then just some Prussian Blue right under the bear for a shadow. I drop some water onto it to disperse the wet paint for some textural effects, and then again sprinkle with some sea salt. Once dry again, I scrape off the salt and brush it away, and now I will start using my Inktense pencils to create a base layer of darks and shadows on the bear. I'm using an extremely light touch to apply the black and the iris blue everywhere a natural cast shadow or fold would be. These are very concentrated ink pencils, and I don't want to overdo it and paint a blue bear. To activate the Inktense, I'm using the same watercolor brush, a black velvet size 8 round, which has a very fine point. I have it just barely damp, and touching the paper makes the Inktense blend out. These are permanent once they dry, so I have to work quickly to keep dampening and blending out the pigment. I just continue to rinse and blot my brush and spread out that pigment. After the Inktense is dry, I decided to amplify the contrast a little more and add some fur texture. I used Prussian Blue watercolor, which I used to darken the eyes, lips, and foot pads. For the fur, I diluted it to a very watery concentration and painted it very carefully to not overpower the white. I also used it in the thicker consistency to paint the claws. Once done with the watercolor, I used a stiff, flat, damp brush to scrub around the head to soften where the fur meets the sky, and blotted it with a paper towel. Then I use some white liquid acrylic to add some fur texture around the head and add some highlights and make some minor adjustments to his features, like his eyes and the tips of his nails. Then I sign it and I'm done. Thank you for watching this tutorial. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel to see more art tutorials. Also click your notification bell to find out whenever a new tutorial is published and share this video with your artist friends on social media. Happy painting, and I hope you join me for my next tutorial. Bye!